Okay. Let's get things set up here. Start sharing. Sharing the video, and then we'll start here promptly, fingers crossed, at 8 o'clock. I get on here a little early so I can share the videos to my other pages. Get this all set up. And then by then it'll be 8 o'clock and we can begin. Page, chiller chat. Alright. Hope everyone's having a good night tonight. Almost there. Stay on target. Okay, one more to go. Look at that, we're making some pretty good time here. All right. I think we're gonna be all right here. All right, the chat's up and running. Look at this, we got 2 minutes left. We got 2 minutes. Look how early we are. It's crazy. Cassandra says, hi, everybody. Hey, Cassandra, thanks for joining us. Mr. Tracy Williamson says hello from Ohio. Well, hello. Thanks for joining us. We'll be starting up here in about a minute now. So, all right. We're almost there, folks. John says, greetings from Massachusetts. This is Crozak the Grand, and now here he is, the man himself, Brian Hogue. Thank you, John. I appreciate that, and Crozak. So, Dr. Ed says, Brian, hey, Doc, thanks for joining us. It is almost time. Angry Pennsylvanian, Brian, the Angry Pennsylvanian. Thanks for joining us. And David says, good evening. Champagne popped and ready for consumption. Cheers. All right. That's what we want to hear. Doc says, I really miss hanging out with you guys. Oh, thanks, Doc. Miss having you. Good to see you here tonight with us. All right, folks. It is 8 o'clock. Time to begin the pre-show. Hey everybody, this is Brian Hogue. Welcome to the Chiller Night Live pre-show, where from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until a few minutes shy of 9 p.m. I will sit here, I will chat with you, you will chat with me, you will chat with each other. It's just a chat session, I guess, and we'll be hitting on some of the TV programming that'll be on tonight on Stream TV, the Chiller Night programming such as Chiller Night Theater and Chiller Chat. So, after this show is done, for you who might be new watching this, reason we cut it short a few minutes till 9 o'clock, so then you can get on to streammedia.tv, and or if you're able to get on there and download the app or connect to the Roku app, you can have it on your TV. It'd be great. But then at 9 o'clock starts the Chiller Night programming, and that runs off and on until about 3:30 in the morning. So, all right, so where are we at here? Where are we at? Mr. Tracy Williamson, ha ha ha. Okay, and Doc says, replying to David, cheers. John said, it's Krampus night. Oh, that's right, somebody, maybe you brought that up. Yeah, that was mentioned last week. It's Krampus night. I never knew that. You'd think I would know that, but I didn't know that. Fear and trembling as he clumps his way toward his victims. Wow. Krampus night. Is that really a thing? I guess so. It's been brought up a couple times, so it must be real. All right. So Bonehead said, "Hey Brian, hey Chiller Night crew, how are yous? Missed last week. Hey Bonehead, thanks for joining us this week. Ah, and here's Brad. It's the Chiller Night pre-show with Brian Hogue, starring Brian Hogue. Now here's Brian. What's on tonight, Brian? I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. Look at this. Crazy. I hope I have the right schedule up. I think I. Let's see. All right. No, I don't. All right. Bear with me. I just now thought about that. Did I put this on? All right. Look, I'm going to try to do this now. So you'll get to. I was busy today finishing up with the haunted house. Yeah, you heard me right. Finishing. All right. We're going to just. No, that's okay. Your screen's probably black. Browse here. We're going to go down here. I don't know what you're seeing. You're probably seeing what's on my screen. TV schedule for 2020. Talk amongst yourselves. What is today? The 5th. All right, here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Hopefully you can see what I'm seeing. And I'll tell you what I'm seeing. 9 p.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Grave of the Vampire. 11 p.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is, we're going to have Samantha, the one with Samantha Diener on here. She, of course, plays Elle Von Nock on Chiller Night Theater. Who is, and this was by no coincidence, actually on the Grave of the Vampire episode. At 11 p.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is The Killer Shrews. They're shrews. And they're killers. Killer shrews. 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is the Western Pennsylvania Paranormal Investigation Team. And at 2 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Fiend Without a Face. So there you go. Thank you for having the patience to endure that me. Yeah, it's funny. I was sitting here just thinking, I'm going to go over the schedule. I don't think I updated the schedule. So there you have it. But there it is. Make sure that's the right one again. December 5th. Yeah. All right. So anyways, Mr. Tracy says, love old scary movies. Well, you've come to the right place. Glad to have you here tonight with us. Thank you for joining us. Doc Dredd says to Al, hi Al. And then Cassandra says, wow, great lineup. Glad you like it. Hey, that's a good movie, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. Grave of the Vampire. Very good, what was it, in the 70s, early 70s, I believe. 74 is, I don't know, I'm shooting from the hips here, folks, but in that time era, but it's a pretty good movie. Nice atmosphere. Brad says, my wife Amanda and I just got done decorating both our Christmas trees. Oh yeah, that's cool. We put ours up on the night of November 30th so that on December 1st it was there. So that's cool. Everyone getting festive in the spirit of things. Mr. Tracy says, Roscoe on Killer Shrews. Right. Yeah. He sure is. Bonehead says, hello, angry Pennsylvanian. Al says, hi, Doc. And we got some hellos and salutations going back and forth. And Mr. Tracy says, James Best, Roscoe. Yes. Yep. We were talking about that last week when we mentioned the lineup for the night. You know, we were talking about older movies and TVs, 70s TV stars and stuff like that. And yep, that was brought up. Angry Pennsylvanian, sup, Bonehead. All right, so. And I wonder if Tom and Glam's going to join us. I won't know, but you might. You'll be able to see them, but unfortunately I won't. So give them a shout if you see them from me. Mr. Tracy's got a new phone. Yippee! All right, cool. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and mention our friends here with Vicelli Pizza in Butler, Pennsylvania. David Long, if you're watching, thank you as always for all the support you've given to all things Chiller. You know, Chiller Night Live, the Friday Night Frights, and of course the Harrisville Haunted House. Thank you. Vicelli Pizza of Butler, Pennsylvania, and Gross Fest. Tom Gross, Tim Gross, Terrence, and your better halves. Thank you so much for all the work that you guys do preparing for Gross Fest, and looking forward to Gross Fest 2021. All right, let's do this. And streammedia.tv, Stream TV. And last two I want to mention, of course, on the other side of Boba Fett, is Chop Block TV. So, check them out. Check out the Roku channel, Chop Block TV. Pretty cool. Doc's on there too. I see he's on here with us, but Doc shows are appearing on the Chop Block TV Roku channel. So check it out. There's a lot of different horror-related programming on that channel, so check it out. And then on the other side of Chop Block is the Dead Vault. So check out the Dead Vault. It's on Facebook. Scott Paulson is the guy, the man in charge of the Chop Block TV and the Dead Vault. So he does a lot. Check him out, and want to give him a shout out. So hopefully you guys will check out some of his work as well. So where are we at? Al says, Brian, did you see Darth Vader died last week? I did. I posted that too about David Prowse. Yeah, he was getting up there in years, and passed away last week. So rest in peace, good sir. So another thing I'd mentioned too about he had played Frankenstein's monster in two of the Hammer horror movies. So I thought that was pretty cool. And Star Wars, of course, reunited David Prowse and Peter Cushing as the villainous Grand Moff Tarkin and Darth Vader. So yes. Kevin says, hi Brian, I'm watching the TV series Ghost Story Circle of Fear on Terra Vincent's Mausoleum. Hey, you just reminded me of something. Hey Kevin, thanks for joining us. But you just reminded me of something when I saw that. I know you're a big Dark Shadows fan. Last night I was checking out, oh my gosh, I forget the channel. Is it Hulu? It's either, okay. I didn't prepare for this. Again, shooting from the hips, folks. No, I think it's on Sci-Fi. Maybe it's on Sci-Fi. It's one of those channels, either Hulu or Sci-Fi, where they have all the Dark Shadows episodes. Now, I was looking at that because I was thinking, well, maybe I could get caught up on that. There's like 30 seasons. Holy cow, like 26 seasons or something like that, or 29 seasons. And each season has like, I don't know, a crazy amount of episodes, like 25 episodes or something crazy like that. So that's a little out of my time zone as far as me being able to casually binge watch something. So, but if some of you are big fans of Dark Shadows and you're wondering where you can get those episodes, check that out. They're all over there. Doc says, when watching the Killer Shrews, take notice of how much those characters drink. Yeah. Yes. Probably wouldn't hurt to have a drink or two yourselves while watching the Killer Shrews. Bonin says, what's new in your world this week in the life of Brian, Mr. Hogue? Well, in the life of Brian, what's new with me is as of today, I've completely finished packing up the haunted house. That's right. It is done. It has been put to rest for the winter and spring. And we'll crack that baby open again this coming summer. So, but that's probably the newest big thing with me, other than my Christmas tree being up this week. Isn't that weird? Like for me, it's just, well, it has to be like that for you too. But it's Halloween, everything Halloween, leading up to Halloween, then boom, Christmas. Or we got, if you blink, you miss Thanksgiving, but it's so weird that, we got Christmas decorations up in the house. That's just something, isn't it? Because I'm still tearing down a haunted house. So, but that's what is new with me. Let's see. Dale says, hi, everyone. Hey, Dale. All right, Dale's with us, which means we are going to announce, and then we'll get to the other comments, this coming week's Thursday night, on December 10th on the Chillinite Facebook group page. Every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we have a Dale takes the reins, and he runs a watch party on the Chillinite Facebook group page. So check it out. If you're not a member, become a member. And the movie this coming Thursday for December 10th will be Dale. Are you ready with that information? Should I? Yeah, I'm going to start the drum roll. I'll just start the drum roll. All right. So, what is that? Okay. Today was a weird day. I was pretty busy. I was trying to get some stuff done and finish with the haunted house. But, all right, Dale, I'm ready whenever you are, good sir. The movie for Thursday night, December 10th. Thursday. I said that. 10 December 10th at 8 p.m. will be. Oh, he said it. He said it. He's ahead of me. All right, The Video Dead. All right, there we go. The Video Dead from 1987. Oh, geez. Let me turn that drum roll on. I can't hear it, so. But all right, The Video Dead. Another 80s horror movie. All right, that Dale has dug up for us for this coming Thursday, December 10th at 8 p.m. I was getting my numbers mixed around there, but The Video Dead. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So thank you once again, Dale, for doing that. And I hope you guys, if you sitting around Thursday night, coming up on 8, you just don't know what you're going to do. You don't know what the heck you got going on. Well, tune in and check it out. Chat with each other and just have fun. That's why we're here. So hope you get a chance to see The Video Dead from 1987. All right, thank you, Dale. Thanks again for doing that. Kevin says, Brian, Dark Shadows was on 5 days a week, Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. on. That's amazing. That is that soap opera. I mean, I guess I knew it was like a horror soap opera or something like that. But that's amazing. That's so many episodes from June 27th, from June 27th, 1966 to April 2nd, 1971. Wow. Wait a minute. Well, how then do I see that many seasons? I'm going to have an update for you next week then, because when I got on there, there was like a crazy amount of there was like over 20 seasons. Is it the same thing? Maybe I'm looking at, is there a different Dark Shadows? Was it revised at any time? I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that, because there was just way too many years for me to catch up on. Dale says made in 1987. Yes. The Video Dead, yeah. Did I not say that maybe? Did I say a different year? Wouldn't surprise me. I'm having trouble with my numbers tonight for some reason. All right, John says, replying to Cassandra, hello again. And Doc says to Dale, hey Dale, hope to join you for the watch party. Yeah! Mr. Tracy says, Halloween to Christmas, Nightmare Before Christmas. Aha! See what you did there. Mr. Tracy said, dying again. Mr. Tracy, and loving it. All right. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Bonehead says, if I look in my mirror, I can see the darn near dead on Thursday. Or any other day. What? If I look in my mirror, I can see the darn near dead. Darn near dead on Thursday or any other day. All right, well, stop looking in your mirror, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. Mr. Tracy says, 1964 here. What am I? Oh, wait a minute. What's 1964? Is that when you were made, Mr. Tracy? I've got to say, I'm a child of the 60s myself. Unless you're talking about a movie. I don't know. Batman 1943. Ah, ha, ha. Yeah, I remember that. I watched all those serials. Um, all right, where are we at here? Where are we at? We got the watch party. I announced that the haunt was finally done last week. Oh my gosh, it's funny because I had this list of topics I was going to go over, which I do from time to time. Most of the time I do. And we had such a fun episode last week. Everybody was talking about uh, just old shows, nostalgic shows from like the 70s and 80s and stuff like that. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. We had a blast. Um, Mr. Tracy says 56 here. Wow. Well, I'm creeping up on that myself. So I got a few years to go yet, but um, that was a man. We were talking about Kolchak, Night Stalker, the the Night Gallery. Um, gosh, and it didn't even have to do with. It didn't even have to have anything to do with science fiction or horror. We were just throwing out cool shows that we loved. Growing up in that era. Or whether we grew up or not in that era, but shows that we watched back then. Um, so what started it? I think this is what started it. I remember now. I was announcing Hotline. That was a movie that Dale played this last Thursday, and that had Linda Carter on there, who, of course, was Wonder Woman in the 70s. So I think, if I remember right, I think that might have been what got us talking about and then I said, oh, speaking of 70s TV, James Best played Roscoe P. Coltrane on the Dukes of Hazzard. He's playing on the Killer Shrews, and that was all it took to get that ball rolling, and it just picked up a lot of momentum, and it was a lot of fun. I got to say that was a very fun episode for me. Um, Buck Rogers, Mr. Tracy says, yeah, we talked about that. Gil Gerard playing Buck Rogers, and we even mentioned about Buster Crabbe. Of course, was the original Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon appearing on an episode of the late 70s going into the early 80s Buck Rogers. Twilight Zone. Doc says Squiggy David Landers passed away from Laverne Shirley. Yeah, I saw that today. Yeah, that's something. Mr. Tracy says, he brings up one of my favorites, the Lone Ranger. A big, huge Lone Ranger fan. Always have been since I have memory. I was telling Ava just probably I think it was just last week, um, when I was a little kid, as far back as I have memory. I remember having the action figures of the Lone Ranger and Tonto, and yeah, I just love those old shows. And Bonehead says, I've been 21 years old for the last 31 years. I hear you. I can relate to that. Doc says, replying that he says, my fat fingers, I apologize. Well, oh, squiggly. Um, Mr. Tracy says, Dukes of Hazzard, miss it. Yeah, it was a fun show. Cassandra says, so sad I saw that earlier about David Landers. And Mr. Tracy mentions MASH. That was one of my favorites. I loved MASH as well. Doc says, Tonto, you go into town. Yeah. Yeah. I can't go into town, Tonto. I've got a mask on. Well, that's going to generate a lot of interest. Can't very likely go low key with a mask on. So you go on into town, and I'll go up here and talk to these prospectors and dress like the old prospector guy and put on the costume. What? Tonto never questioned it, though, did he? He never questioned it. No, sir, not for a minute. He just did what he was, what he felt was crucial to the mission, And no, there was a lot of. Hey, speaking of the Lone Ranger and Tonto, did you guys ever check out the? And I'm gonna talk about the '80s Lone Ranger and Tonto cartoon, the '60s. I don't know if you knew about this. They had a really bizarre Lone Ranger cartoon back in the 60s, and it was crazy. They were fighting giant robots and Sasquatches, It was something. Yeah, yeah. Check it out. The Lone Ranger and Tano were. Yeah, you'll look it up on YouTube. And that's where I saw them. I didn't know they did this back then. I mean, I was born in '68, so I mean, I by the time I was like figuring out TV, that had already come and gone, and I never knew about the reruns or nothing. I happened to be flipping through the TV probably only about a year ago when I started watching this. I was like, what the heck is this? I didn't know this was out there, but check it out. Just some fun animated um, episodes there. Mr. Tracy says Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. Now that one I gotta admit I'm not aware of that one. John says The Lone Ranger with Clayton Moore, Jay Silverhills. What a great series when TV was cool. I know Clayton Moore was a fantastic, fantastic Lone Ranger. I mean, I give John Hart credit for when he did step in, during that period of time when Clayton was gone. And then he came back to reprise the role, but he just, I thought he did a good job. But when you see Clayton Moore as the Lone Ranger, I mean, he's just he was just too good. Although I'll tell you this: when you watch the first couple episodes of the Lone Ranger with Clayton Moore, it's horrible. It's horrible acting, and it's not because Clayton Moore was a horrible actor. Here's what happened: they wanted Clayton Moore. They wanted his talk, his dialogue to resemble the Lone Ranger on the radio. It was a radio show, and they wanted him to present the dialogue more like it sounded on the radio. And so when you watch those first couple episodes, the way he talks and pauses, and it's because he's trying his best to sound like the radio actor, and it just didn't work out. And I think everybody caught on to that fairly quick, and then it just went to Clayton Moore and his showing you his true acting skills, which were great. I mean, he was a perfect hero. And that's what I loved about the Lone Ranger, because I love westerns. I grew up on westerns, but I equally loved superheroes, and he and Tano were basically they're basically superheroes, or at least equivalent to like Batman, back in the old days. So just a fun show. Mr. Tracy says Jay Silverhills, yeah, great as Tonto. Thunderbirds Puppetry says, yeah, that's another one that I'm aware of it. I've seen little clips of it, but I didn't watch that show. Jason says Clayton Moore was the best Lone Ranger. Oh yeah. I was very disappointed with the new Lone Ranger movie that was out in the theater. In fact, I left I was so annoyed at that. I'm like, wow, what a watered down version of the Lone Ranger. And if children think that this was what the Lone Ranger was, they're going to look at that as a weak hero, a really watered down hero. And that's how I feel. But then another part of me was like, okay, but if you look at it as just having fun, almost like a parody in a way, like the '60s Batman, compare that to the serious hero that you obviously in the comics, at least from the '70s on. I mean, because I will say this. The campy '60s Batman, well, the comics were kind of campy and silly too at times. So it wasn't that big of a gap, to go from that to. But if you look at the Lone Ranger movie, and I guess if you just take it as what would Adam West do, because it was almost making fun of it in a way, So I guess I could, and I haven't watched it since I kind of thought that way about it. So I wonder how it would be if I did go back and watch it with that mindset. Would I enjoy it? I don't know, because I love Batman, but I also love what Adam West did with Batman. I love that. What a genius brilliant way to portray Batman. And you know, we give Adam West, but what about Burt Ward as Robin? Holy cow, that was he doesn't get enough credit either. I mean, they did a fantastic job. So I don't know. What do you? I don't know what you guys think. We normally talk about chiller stuff, but this, I gotta say, this is kind of fun too. Um, Mr. Tracy says Clayton Moore. David says mentioned it. David Sylvia says mentioned once before. I met Clayton Moore in his costume at Kennywood Park in the 1960s. My gosh, that would have been so amazing. That would have been so amazing. You know, he just passed away. You know, when you think about that show being on when it was, I mean, he passed away. He almost lived to the new millennium. What was it? December of '99, I think, is when he ended up passing away. So he lived a long life. Bonanza, I see Mr. Tracy saying, I used to watch that, The Rifleman. We mentioned him. I mentioned him last week, Chuck Connors, when we were talking about 80s, you know, television. And there was a show, I don't know if it was just called Werewolf, but it was about a werewolf. But Chuck Connors played a character on that. And I don't remember, because I've never seen reruns. I only remember watching it in the 80s. You know, he was kind of on the trail, I think, if I remember right, of this werewolf. Wild Wild West, Robert Conrad. Yeah. Paul says, hey, Brian, Jack, sorry I missed the start of the show. How are you and your family? Good, I hope. By the way, there was a Batman black and white series in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, Paul, thanks for joining us. No, we had a, they had the series back in, there was 2 serials of Batman before the 60s, Batman with Adam West and Burt Ward. Yeah, it was one in the 40s. I think somebody had brought it up, Mr. Tracy, about 43. I'll take your word for it because it sounds right. And then there was another one after that. It had different actors in it. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Mr. Tracy says, poor Robin. And then John says, Steve Canyon has a TV series that was done in the late 50s with episode based on real Air Force operations. Steve Canyon series was based off of the original comic series of the newspaper. Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. I don't know anything about that one, to be honest with you, John. That sounds interesting, though. Bonehead says SWAT and Starsky and Hutch. Yeah, Starsky and Hutch. David Sewell. On any of these, I'll try to connect. See if I can connect these to a chiller or sci-fi. But Starsky and Hutch, David Sewell, you know, Salem's Lot. So another thing about Starsky and Hutch, how about the car, the Gran Torino, the 74? Well, they actually had 3 models for that car. They had a 74, 75, and 76 Gran Torino for that one that they used for that series. So pretty cool. Let's see. Bonus says hello, Paul. Doc Dredd says Werewolf series is or was in legal dispute. Well, is that the one that I'm talking about though in the 80s? Is that the one? I don't remember the name. I for some reason think it was called Werewolf. Could be wrong, but maybe that's one you're talking about. Mr. Tracy says the Wolfman, Lon Chaney. Yes. Excellent. I gotta say, and I talk about this with Samantha tonight on that Chiller Chat episode coming up at 11, but we talk about remakes, and on there I say the Wolfman, the remake of the Wolfman. I thought it was very well done. So, one thing about me, a lot of people, I don't know why, are kind of like movie snobs, you know, like, oh, but you don't know, you know, like this and this about it, and like, I don't care. I'm not, like I say, I just want stuff to be entertained, you know. If it's entertaining, you got me. You know, if I gotta think too much about it, well, I do enough about that in real life. So, you know, just whisk me away to another planet or to Dracula's castle, and I'll be happy. But but yeah, I enjoyed that one. I really did. Good movie. I love werewolves. David says, "Did you like Lost in Space?" I did. I used to watch that. That was a regular I used to watch as a kid. Yep. Al says, "I love that show, Doc." It must be the werewolf series you're talking about. And then Doc says, "Operation Blue Book, the TV series." Operation Blue Book, the TV series. Is that now? I know that there was a recent series on the History Channel. Oh, that was Project Blue Book. Okay, I was gonna say because Ava and I were watching that. We enjoyed that one. I might have heard of the Operation Blue Book, but I don't know. Things get a little fuzzy for me sometimes. you know. Paul says, "How is my extended family doing? Love you all." How's everyone doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing well. Looks like everybody's having a good time and participating in this. Um, it's funny because, like, if you're new here, if you're new and you're just like, what the heck is this show? Or is it a show? I don't know. I'm just chatting away, but it's a pre-show. Um, but we talk about things with, dealing with maybe horror, science fiction, or the paranormal, or old TV shows, which is just, you know, I love it. I think it's fun. I think the nostalgia of all of this stuff is kind of what appeals or is appealing to us, when it comes to these old chillers anyways, you know. I think that's probably why we're having such a good time throwing out these old titles, movie titles and TV shows and stuff like that, is because we grew up on this stuff. And I don't know, it's not that it's any better probably, but it's because I've gone back and tried to watch some of this stuff I grew up on that I've held in such high reverence, and boy, oh boy, it can be tough. It can be tough, but it's still, I still will hold it in high regards because it's what I grew up with. It's what I knew, and it's what I fell in love with at the time. So you know, good memories. And Tracy says Chips, yeah. And Elvira was on Chips one time. I do remember watching that. How could I forget? But I remember she was on one of those episodes. John says David Soul was in Salem's Lot. Yes. Bonehead says to Paul, "We're doing great, Paul. How are things on your end?" Mr. Tracy says Christine. Good one. Doc says yes, late 80s. Okay. McTracy says Wolfen. Now there's another interesting movie, huh? Wolfen. And then Eat Happy, Werewolf of London. Werewolf of London, the old one from 1935, I think, with Henry Hall as the werewolf. That was different. That was really that was a, and I have to check on the date that came out. For some reason, I'm thinking it was in 1935. I enjoyed that movie. I thought that was a neat take on the werewolf, and that was only maybe 6 years before um, the Wolfman came out with Lon Chaney Jr. playing him. Interesting thing about the Wolfman, is the fact that they had Claude Rains play, you know, the father, Larry Talbot's father, Lon Chaney Jr., and you got Claude Rains. Well, there didn't look to be that big of an age difference, first of all. And Claude Rains was like, probably short to average height. And you got Lon Chaney Jr. Just, nothing looked like, oh, yeah, well, I can see the resemblance. That was a poor, you know, both great. I mean, Claude Rains, obviously a great actor, but at least, but yeah, I don't know if that was exactly the wisest casting choice there. Um, let's see. Bonehead says Chiller Theater of Chilly Billy was the best, at least until Jack Shadow and Chiller Night Theater get us up and running. Oh, thank you. Yes. Oh, every Saturday night was a Chiller Theater night. So and that was, of course, what inspired me to do my show. I just wanted to bring a little slice of that, to the who's ever watching it now. If you had some, and somebody said this to me last year, and when I see comparisons, it is you have no idea. It's the greatest compliment I could have when it comes to my shows. Um, said that a lot of horror hosts, it looks like they try to kind of duplicate that feel, that flavor of chiller theater, but chiller night theater, you know, does that, or at least comes the closest, and I'm not proclaiming that myself, but I'm saying that's what I was told last year by one of the viewers, and I can't tell you how good that made me feel to hear something like that. Obviously, it has to be a different show. It's not the same host, and nor could I. Bill Cardell was one of a kind. But for what I do, it's nice to hear the comparisons. And it's fun. It's just a lot of fun. David says, "What do you think about Peter Dinklage starring in the remake of The Toxic Avenger?" I'll be honest, David. Somebody had sent me, John, maybe it was you. Uh, Somebody had sent me something about The Toxic Avenger, or Kevin, maybe it was you on through Messenger, and I opened it, I looked at it, but sometimes I look at stuff and I'm doing a couple other things, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll get back to that, and then I don't. So somebody had sent me something about that, about the Toxic Avenger coming, the new one, the remake, and I haven't had time to look at it yet, so I'm not aware of this. Paul says there was a very cool cop show called Time Tracks with Dale Midkiff. Oh yeah, I'm not aware of that. Not aware of that. Look at me, just sitting here, not aware. I'm not aware. So, maybe you guys are. What do you guys think? Anybody have an opinion about Peter Dinklage starring in the remake of The Toxic Avenger? I don't know who that is, but is he a well-known actor? Maybe, or I don't recognize a lot of names until I see the face, and I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. Okay, um, Mr. Tracy, the Bat. We actually play that on the. Maybe that'll have to be. Maybe I'll have that one come up soon. Doc Dread says, yeah. How about that last episode of The Mandalorian? Wow, no spoilers. Do you know how hard it is for me to sit here and have watched that episode last night, and not be able to talk about this and give away any spoilers? Do you know how hard it is for me? Oh my gosh, that was the best episode ever. Uh, that right there, that was better than any of the last several Star Wars movies, in my opinion. I just that was crazy, and I loved every minute of it. That was those guys are just doing an amazing job with that show, and I remember hearing, I read a lot online. I mean, I can't avoid it because it's a show I'm very interested in, but a lot of people are like, concerned about maybe too much fan service. You know, no way. It's being done right. It's being done very well, and in a very good way by super fans. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are super fans of Star Wars, and they both sat with George Lucas so much and learned so much about what George's vision for Star Wars. And wouldn't it have been something if Kathleen Kennedy or Rian Johnson or J.J. Abrams, like, just had a fraction of that kind of talent when it comes to the Star Wars universe, at least. Wow, you know that's all I can say to Doc is wow. Bonin says, any news coming out about redoing Chiller Theater yet, Brian? No, as some of you know, I went down to this a while ago. This is at the end of wasn't last year. No, it was like coming up on 2 years ago now. No, it was March of 2018, maybe 2019. And now I'm confused. Again, numbers not working with me tonight. But yeah, I went down to WPXI. We had talked about me taking over or rekindling the Chiller show of Pittsburgh, being the host of Pittsburgh's new Chiller show. And it was very promising. It was very encouraging. They were in agreement to even reuse an Experiment of Terror, the Chiller Night, the Chiller Theater theme music. I thought, I said, if you do that, I even sent them some ideas for commercials. Have the castle set and the casket maybe, and the gloved hand and the laced sleeve of Jack Shadow reaching out and playing that music, and then coming soon or something, Chiller Theater or Chiller Night Theater. I don't know what they would want to call it. They probably keep it with Chiller Night Theater because they don't own the rights to that title anymore. But no, I don't know what to tell you there. It'd be neat. It'd be so cool. But I don't know. I don't know about that anymore. But I do have different ideas about, why go to Pittsburgh? Why not go where I'm already at, Stream TV, and just do. Now, here's what I would like to do. And I've mentioned this, and we got plenty of time. I would like to have, this is my thoughts. Let's discuss this, shall we? I'm thinking it would be pretty cool to do every Saturday night, to have Chiller Night Theater be a live show, a live production from the TV studio. And you would only be able to watch it on Stream TV. I like that idea. It would be a lot of work and a lot of commitment. And I don't know if I'd be able to keep up with 52 or 50 weeks of it. I mean, it depends on what the sponsorship's looking like, because I would need some kind of support of that. That's like a 70-mile trip, there and back every Saturday night. But, and just the work, the time, involved in doing that. But I would do it. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I actually could see a lot of sponsors jumping on that because I think it would be a lot of fun. And here's another thing. Be kind of neat to have a live audience in the studio as well. So, I don't know. I love live shows, and I know I happen to have heard from a good source that Jack Shadow likes live shows as well. So, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. I am so far behind on these comments, and I am so sorry about that. But Cassandra replying to Doc, I know, right? Wow. We were talking about the Mandalorian. Crazy. McTracy says, Elvira and her car, too. Dr. Shock. Paul says he was adopted. Mr. Tracy says, Svengoolie. Yeah. He's been around for a while, hasn't he? John says, yes, it was me. That's what I thought, John. Who sent you the message about the Toxic Avenger reboot? Yeah, it was just the other day, and I clicked on it, I opened it up, and it's just like I was like, oh, okay, Toxic Avenger. I got to get back to that, and something shiny distracted me, and I trailed off. Paul says, Brian, thanks for making Saturday night. Oh, that's not a problem, Paul. Thank you guys for joining me. What was that thing that when we were talking, like how did I see that? Like how did that come over on is that like a messenger thing? I never use that messenger on Facebook. I don't know. That was pretty neat though. We were chatting the other evening. Doc says, yes, the show was awesome. Heck yeah, it was. I'm going to skip some of these, and I'm sorry because I'm so far behind, and I'm trying to keep up with them. But this is a lot of fun. Bonin says I watched Ned the Dead's Chiller Theater, and he was pretty funny, good to watch years ago. But he's retired now. He used to do barking and jokes, and it was really funny. His old shows are on YouTube. Oh yeah, Doctor Who's Mr. Tracy says. Oh, Cassandra says Peter Dinklage was Tyrion Lannister on Game of Thrones. Oh, now I've not seen Game of Thrones. I've not watched one episode, but I know the actor you're talking about now. Okay, okay, gotcha. that would be interesting. Um, Paul says Dale Midcoff played the father on the original Pet Sematary. Denise Cosby, aka Let Yard Sting. What was her name on Star Trek? I know who you're talking about. The Next Generation. Tasha Yar. Was that it? I don't know. I love the original series. I like I enjoyed the Next Generation, but my heart and soul was with the original series. So, um, Bonehead says, speaking of Tasha Yar, was that it? That's bothering me now. Speaking of Star Wars, Brian, where's your spaceship that flies in the background of your screen? Oh yeah. Hold on. Now I'm going to change this up a little bit. I think. Now you'll see it. You should. I think you will. I have another one too that I'll be playing probably the week before Christmas, where I got the snow. Um, all right, let me catch up here. Yeah, Denise Crosby, who also was, remember her on The Walking Dead, playing that part on The Walking Dead. All right, so John says, what about these monoliths popping up all over the place? Where do they pop up next? Yeah, isn't that something? And one popped up in Pittsburgh. That's not that far from me, and some of you. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? I should do a chiller chat right now. Speaking of chiller chats, um, I might put that on the back burner for a little bit because I haven't been able to keep up with them, and I hate to keep playing the same episodes, which is what I've been doing now. This year for Chiller Night Theater, we've had 8 new episodes. So before I had to go to work on the haunted house. So, but with Chiller Chat, what I might do, I might even take this show here, the pre-show, and maybe play a couple of Chiller Night Theaters on Stream TV. Maybe throw a pre-show in there so other viewers can see this show. Actually on Roku and on the Stream TV. Maybe it's just something I've one of the thoughts I had this week. So Doc says he was also the children's book writer in Elf. Yeah, I remember that. Call me Elf one more time. One more time. I remember that. That was hilarious. Um, let's see. Brad says, I'm back. Just got done finishing dinner. I had fries, hot dogs, and mild hot chicken wings. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm on a very strict diet, I must say, because, jeez. I get a little out of, and I try to keep fit throughout the year. I do. And when I start on the haunted house, normally that's when I start letting myself go because I don't have time to really prepare, anything healthy. And I was last Saturday night, and you might be surprised to hear this. I was actually 25 pounds heavier than I was a year ago uh, when I was doing the haunted house last year. So, and I fluctuate like that. It's like I just actually I like the challenge of working that off. So, but yeah, I put on a little bit more than I had anticipated. So. Yeah, as good as something like that sounds, and it does sound good. I know for me, I gotta take some. I gotta take a little break from that stuff. So, but do enjoy 25 pounds. Yeah, imagine that. Bonehead says, I'm still hoping you'll get Terminal Stare, Donna Ray Galinsky interviewed for a Chiller Chat episode. Wouldn't that be something? I would love that. If anybody knows her or how to get in touch with her, mostly I just reach out and I get in touch with the people myself. But if anybody has an in, with her, let me know. Let me know. I could look that up, but that would be fantastic. Could you imagine now if she lives in the Pittsburgh area, maybe she would even come up to the TV studio and actually be on set. That would be awesome. I would make that into a multi-part episode, because I wouldn't want to, I don't know, there'd be so much to talk. It's Chiller Theater, it'd be talking about Chiller Theater, so that'd be cool. Anybody know her? Know someone who knows her? Let me know. Do tell. Don't keep it to yourself. So, Paul says, hi guys, when things get tough, take my advice. Pull down your pants and slide on the ice. I remember that from the Doctor and that. Love to see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yes. Brad says, easier to have the show at the Stream TV studio. I think it'd be kind of neat. Rather than my heart and passion was to get into Pittsburgh and be that horror host, But there's part of me too that says, that is a ship that sailed. It was there, it had gone, and I don't know that there is bringing back another one. You know what I mean? And as hard as that is for me to kind of accept, another thing is like, why don't you just build up what you have? Why don't you just build up what you already have and work on the existing audience, and instead of taking it to Pittsburgh where they, at the last minute changed all the let's just say what we ended up with wasn't what we started with, and I was like, nah. So why not? Why not try it from Oil City? Let's see. And the only way you'd see it is on Stream TV, which is free. If you're watching Roku, if you're watching online, obviously. But I mean, if you have the Roku channel's for free. So and holy cow, it's 8:54. Why didn't you tell me? Just, look how many messages I didn't even get to yet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right. Let me throw up that schedule again. Whoa! There's that UFO. I'm sure it's flown by a couple times. But all right, look, folks. Here in just a couple minutes, in about 5 minutes at 9 p.m. Chiller Night Theater. The movie is Grave of the Vampire. 11 p.m. Chiller Chat. We will be with Samantha Diener. 11:30 Chiller Night Theater. The movie is The Killer Shrews. 1:30 a.m. Chiller Chat. My guest is the WPPIT, the Western Pennsylvania Paranormal Investigation Team. I almost got winded saying that. Jeez. 2 a.m. Chiller Night Theater. Movie is Fiend Without a Face. So there you have it. There's the lineup for tonight. And that begins in just a few minutes. 5 minutes. So, there's Brad. 10 minutes until Chiller Night Theater is coming. Okay, so he did give me the warning. Okay, and I missed it. Oh, wait a minute. Bonehead says you watched them too, Miss Glam? I didn't know if anyone else would have known who I was talking about. Oh, so Glam is with us tonight. So Glam, thank you for joining us. Some of you may or may not know. If you're new here, you wouldn't. But there are 2 viewers on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, that I cannot see. So if you ever see them on here, I don't know if they have anything to relay to me. I don't know. Be the middleman or woman. And but that's Glam Fangs and Tom Paisley. So Tom has another one. He can jump on Facebook and participate in. But I don't know why that happens. Brad says the stream studio doesn't hurt much. Pittsburgh would probably cancel your show in a second's notice. Yeah, it was you know what it was with them? It was all about I understand business, and I'm not faulting them for that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that in a bad, naive way. I understand. You need the money. That's what oils the machine. I get that. But when I'm talking to somebody who is far too young to have understood what chiller theater was, you know, and understood what kind of potential they could have had bringing back a show, that was a springboard from that show and had the the support of the original host, you know. Um, that was the frustrating part on my end, But no, I say that like I said, was but yeah, of course it was money. Of course it was. However, they could have really, really played up the nostalgia. They really could have, and I bet you they would have had an eager audience at that. And that's what I tried to tell them. They couldn't see past that. Almighty, and it happens. I'm not. I'm not naive. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. I understand that, and I don't fault them. But I wish I could have at least talked to somebody my age or older who would have at least seen the the potential. What could have been. All right, Bonehead says, Miss Glam enjoyed those Ned the Dead shows, and talk to you next week for our sweetheart of Scream, Miss Glam Fangs, the gorgeous ghoul of our nightmares. Boneheads, how was that for an intro, Glam? All right, so John says, and then it's 8:58, so we'll have to be putting a cap on tonight's show. John says, once again, this has been the Chiller Night Live pre-show with Brian Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand reminding you that there are 4 more time zones for Krampus to be in. Oh, all right. Until next Saturday night, stay thrilled, keep chilled. I like that. Thanks, John and Crozak. So, Brad says, I mean, no offense, Brian. Oh, no, I didn't take any offense by anything. No, no, none at all. No, it was a good question, and I was very excited about that whole potential prospect. But yeah, but now, yeah, gonna set my sights on something different direction here. Different it does not mean it won't be better though. It will be. It will be, by golly. Okay, Mr. Tracy says lamb chops. Yeah, I remember that. The Anger Pennsylvania. Good night, peeps. See you next week. And I say to you, good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me. So have a good night.